Am I recording?
Yeah.
Right.
King of scrapes on it, man.
Yeah, I know.
What happened?
Fucking hard motovlogging. Right. 2018 Tiger 1200. Not the Explorer. It's not called an Explorer anymore. It's just called a Tiger 1200. This is the XRX, which is the mid-range model with slightly fewer bells and whistles, but there you go. Let us have a shot. Like it up on you. Oh, it's not as tall. Fantastic. Right. Turn it on. Okay. Man, you'd barely tell the thing was on, wouldn't you? Man, I can't even fucking ride a bike without a quick shifter now. It's the fucking quick shifter has me ruined. Because I feel like this would be a much better test ride if I had a quick shifter. And the XRT, which is what I would end up getting if I liked this bike, has one. Okay. This motor bicycle is not as tall as the KTM, which I can get behind. I can flat foot it. I'm about 5'10". Right, and I'm actually, the dealers are close enough to each other that I'm just going to do the same route I did on the KTM, which I rode last time. Okay, this thing can be fast if it wants to be. Let's put it into normal non-hooligan mode. Brakes are alright. It can stop. I'm really enjoying this this TFT screen. I think it's in high contrast mode now, but just the way the dials are, and you've got your big fucking digital speedo and your big digital clocks, and analog clocks are fucking gone the way of the dinosaur. The sooner they're fucking gone, the better. There's the radiator kicking in, or the fucking fan. And again, this is stuff that I care about in a bike. And the difference between this and the KTM is the centre of gravity. I do feel like I'm sitting on top of this bike rather than into it, if that makes sense. I feel like the engine is possibly a bit higher up, and so when I'm sort of leaning over into the corner like so, I feel like the bike isn't under me anymore. And that's just a personal preference. That's something I care about. You may not care one little bit. Come on. Slow speed maneuver is just kind of sitting there hovering on the bike. Little tiny bit ropier, certainly than the boxer engine, which is fine. I can deal with that, but a little bit less friendly than the sort of low center of gravity boxer for your maneuvers. Let's see what the hanging out of the fucking bars situation is. It's a little less hanging out of bars than the KTM was. The bars are shaped quite different, and I think Graham said this as well, he mentioned it, but you feel like your hands are being turned by the bars a little bit. Maybe it's just something that can be adjusted, but yeah, your arms feel closer in. You're not as sort of the way the GS operates, and the way the KTM operated it, it really reminded me of it, is that your arms are like boom, out, fucking dead straight, if you want them to be, no messing about. And this is a little different. Yeah, there is power and there is Wellington in this bike if you want it. That is one of the answers to one of the questions that I had, is that this was sort of, if you're an obsessive late night YouTube viewer like I am, is that this bike was kind of slated out of the three bikes, this and the KTM 1290 Adventure and the GS or GSA, as being the sort of least powerful or least sort of, I don't know, you could say fun, or you could say, you know, that it's the granddad of the three bikes. I don't actually think so. I don't know who I'd nominate as the granddad, but it's one of those bikes that certainly pulling hard and going from, you know, cruising along to actually going fast. This bike seems to be faster than my bike, faster than the 1200 RS certainly. Yeah. Oh shit, without clutching, you fucking yoke. These are my fucking problems. It's a fucking perfectly good bike, but it doesn't have a quick shifter, so fuck it. It is, I would say it is not as tall as the KTM, but the same or slightly taller than the GS. I know these are figures you can go and look up, but fuck you, you're watching my YouTube channel, so deal with that. Running position, yeah, I am happy enough with. You're sitting up on the bike, it is comfortable. I think it is marginally less comfortable than the GS or the other thing. So there you have it, the Tiger 1200 XRT. It is a lovely bike. The TFT screen is nice. The engine appears to be really lovely for the 20 minutes I've had it. Cons would be the riding position and the bars aren't great. It's a little top heavy for my liking, but again, that's just me.